by 12 at halftime to the Miami Heat, man. Hey, listen, more of the same for the Chicago Bulls, right? That's the story for the Bulls. Things really don't change much when it comes to the Bulls, and we're seeing it stay the same as it stands right now in this game so far. Only one double-digit score for the Chicago Bulls, and that is Kobe White, the only player scoring in double digits for the Bulls. The Bulls shooting the ball not terribly, 50% so far from the game, 41% from 3-point range so far, but it's just not enough. Like the Bulls just aren't really executing well out there, and they've allowed players to get out to hot starts. The Miami Heat have three double-digit scorers right now. Jimmy Butler leads the way with them with 12 points. Then you got Duncan Robinson with 11, Kevin Love with 11 as well in that. And the Bulls right now got things that they definitely need to tighten up on. The rebounding battle, they are winning by one. It's a tight rebounding battle, so that is benefiting them. Turnovers by the Chicago Bulls, tons of turnovers, 5 turnovers to only 2 for the Miami Heat. We're used to being on the other side of that. So that is something that's hurting the Bulls right now. The Miami Heat have 9 points off turnover to the Chicago Bulls only having 2. Also, points in the paint killing the Chicago Bulls. The Miami Heat have 26 points in the paint, only 14 for the Chicago Bulls. And then they have 29 points coming off the bench as well. So Bulls got some things that they need to tighten up on, specifically defensively. They're shooting the ball pretty well today. So shooting the ball 51% at halftime. Now, the downside of that, the Miami Heat are shooting the ball 57% from the field overall. So the Bulls got those things that they need to tighten up on to get if they want to get back in this game. Can they? I guess we'll see. But yeah, pretty much exactly like we expect to come in this game. Let's see how you guys are feeling about it. Miami Heat are known for giving up leads in the second half. Yes, they are, but listen, we are also known to suck. I'm sorry, but this is first half is 100% on Vooch. He's doing it awful. Sorry, awful all around. No, you can't blame anything on just one player. Now, Vooch is 3 for 7 from the field, 3 rebounds, and 8 points. But defensively, Vooch has been getting absolutely cooked. Shout out to having an aggressive Patrick Williams in this game so far as well. But it's just, listen, the Bulls defensively doesn't all come just down to Vooch. And when you're getting that amount of points in the paint, specifically from players that are perimeter players, it's more than just Vooch that's the problem out there. But I feel you, Matthew. Love the way Patrick Williams is playing, but I don't think the dunk attempt should have been a foul. I agree with that one. Definitely agree with you on that. BKR Sports says first half from Vooch was awful, so lazy. Listen, like I said, I Vooch has been playing bad. I'm not putting them losing right now completely on him, but Vooch has been playing like shit. Jack Collins says, I like to see P. Will playing hard. Question for you. Could Zach LaVine being traded be what P. Will needed to flip the switch? Time will tell, but interesting thought. Listen, to me, we say all these things every season with P. Will. Get him more shots, get him more this, put him on the bench, let him lead the bench, to be the scorer off the bench. At the end of the day, it just comes down to P. Will's mentality. That's what it comes down to. P. Will is the perfect bull, just like the team. He's only good every 5 to 6 games. Wow, that's a bar. I'm just tired of seeing passive Z. That's crazy. So now it's passed on to passive Z. That stretch when P. Will was in was so fun to watch. P. Will like when P. Will is actually playing, like he actually gives a damn about the game of basketball. It's so different, man. It's so different. Kick Me Down says, I think P. Will misses dunks a little too many times, not because of fouls, just because he measures it wrong. Listen, that's why he should be aggressive more often. Zach looks like he's playing for his teammates, the game, and not the organization. I can't be mad at him. He's playing D and making pretty good passes, even if they were unnecessary. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's not shooting the ball a lot, but outside of that, he's I like what Zach's doing out there. 3 assists from Zach LaVine today. He is initiating the offense a little bit more than normal as well. So those things definitely help Zach LaVine. And, do we want to see more aggressive Zach just go out there and kill it? Yeah, but I mean, listen, you're playing against some pretty solid perimeter defenders on them there. Bulls Daily says, if we I know we're gonna lose. I just want to see how bad Billy get out coached by a coach he just played day before yesterday. That's one thing I said coming into this game too. Eric Spoelstra is gonna have something different in store. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Passive P is old. How about passive Z? That is hilarious. That's funny. Fire Billy. My dude Vooch literally got effing grabbed, and the refs not only gave Miami the ball, but Billy should have tripped somebody going down the court. Fire Billy. That attitude ain't it, bro. That's funny. That's funny. Why isn't Patrick Williams aggressive at the free throw line? He got pushed out the way by Caleb Martin. I mean, Patrick Williams isn't aggressive generally in life. So it's like that. Why? Because that's who he is. That's who he is as a person. Billy got to go for a higher Doc Rivers ain't no different. Doc Rivers is the black Billy Donovan. The only difference is that Doc Rivers usually picks better assistants and he's won the title before. But Doc Rivers ain't much different. I will say this: he's better defensive coach, but I don't think Doc Rivers changes much right now for the Chicago Bulls, in my personal opinion. Who are tripping on Zach, but people fail to realize that Zach gets going in the second half. So it's best that he's been being very observant of the shots that he takes in the first half. Well, that hasn't always been Zach. That's the point. Let's not act like that's always been Zach Levine, that he's just more aggressive in the second half. He has been doing that here lately. Games. Because this just hasn't always been the case. Mark Jackson is never going to get another coaching job in the NBA. It's unfortunate, but he's never going to get another coaching job in the NBA. First of all, why is Zach passing up so many wide open shots like damn? And bro, these dudes are smiling with Jimmy Butler, bro. It's funny. That shit irks me, gang. He whooping y'all ass. What the fuck is funny? I mean, listen, that's the modern NBA. These guys are all friends outside of the game of basketball, right? That's why we're seeing things change. Hit the like button, Hayes. Keep up the great work, my guy. Can Billy Donovan and Matt Eberflus get out of our city? That is hilarious. Billy Donovan is unfortunately probably here to stay for a little while. Matt Eberflus, listen, Eberflus got 6 more weeks left. 6 weeks left. We need to get his ass up out of here. I can't wait to Matt. The day Matt Eberflus gets fired, I'm literally throwing a party. Prodigy says, Hayes, keep doing your stuff. Stay healthy. Greetings from Germany. Shout out to you. Prodigy, where do you live in Germany? I grew up in Mannheim. So where do you live in Germany? I don't think Mark will ever coach again. No, he's gonna get another chance. Um, you talking about Matt Eberflus? He's gonna get. Oh, you talking about? Yeah, Mark ain't never. Yeah, he's never gonna get a chance again. Mark Jackson is done. Like Mark Jackson is done. They are literally blackballing that man from the league, and it's crazy because like Mark Jackson helps start a dynasty. He helped start what the Golden State Warriors ended up becoming. He laid the foundation for that. Steve Kerr came in and made it all work a little bit better. Absolutely can't take away from that. But if it was not for Mark Jackson kind of setting that, man, it's you're talking about a whole different thing there. Really want to see Carter get going in the second half. He can drop 4 to 5 threes easy and change the game. I mean, we've seen him do things like that before, right? Change the game with his 3 point shooting once he gets in rhythm. You just haven't seen him really get in rhythm last few games. So I would like to see Javon Carter get out there and do some things for sure. Hayes, do you think Zach has checked out? To a degree, I think it's kind of overstated by some, but to a degree, I don't know if checked out maybe is the right word for it. Maybe it's the frustrations getting the better of him. Maybe is a better way to word it. But there's definitely something there to Zach being different. It's definitely something there. Quantrell says, keep the content coming, Hayes. Watch you every day while on route working. You carry me through my days, brother. Salute. Well, I appreciate that, man. You and it's Big O too, I think, is also he's also like he's a truck driver or something. So I love that I'm able to give you guys some content while you're driving with my crazy ass, man. Aaron says, "Do you think Haize that Zach will?" Yes, Zach is going to be traded by January. Is probably when Zach's going to be traded. So don't have to worry about it. Haize, how pissed off is Zach going to be if he doesn't get traded? Hmm. That's a big. That's a. I have no idea. I really don't know. Like he can make life a living hell. Like if Zach Levine, let's say the Bulls were to go through the rest of the season and hold on to Zach and worry about trading him like in the offseason or something like that. Man, I think that situation could be pretty damn ugly by the end of it. Pretty damn ugly. Cindy said it's sad that Zach has talked about being a Chicago Bull and his commitment to the team. He all of a sudden requests a trade. I wonder what changed. Listen, like I said before, I said this on the pregame show. Every like players sometimes just get tired of losing and they start recognizing their mentality. Now he's also part of Clutch Sports, which is his own thing. But I think ultimately, like the closer a player gets to 30, the more mortal they feel. Zach Levine getting his deal, probably realizing this is probably my last big deal in the NBA, which I think takes him through what the age of like 33, 34 years old. Um, I mean, he got some things to look at. Definitely got some things to look at. So, and at the end of the day, it'd be different if this team was like trending towards winning. We just haven't been. So, it brings that will change the mentality of somebody by itself. Party says, looks like Zach's offense was criticized by the team. Now he passes out to let them do their stuff. Like it's your turn if you can, if you can do better. I mean, maybe that is him sending a message, right? Maybe. That's that we it's not like it's be something we haven't seen in the NBA before, right? Zach is basically tired of the coaching staff, poor decisions on the floor. We will never win. The coaching staff sucks, right? Billy Donovan is not a good coach. It just is what it is when it comes down to it. The only reason Zach is looking more involved is because someone talked to his ass and told him he can't throw games and stuff, his stats to get traded sooner. Well, I mean, hopefully, like whatever is happening with the trade scenario, you have to understand that trade ain't coming anytime soon, right? It's going to be at least a month. How would you fix the starting lineup with the team, with or without Zach Levine, if traded or not? Plus, from the starters needs to change with sacrifice coming off the bench like Westbrook. I mean, listen, if I was the coach, right, regardless, all things even, I'd probably bring DeMar DeRozan off the bench. That doesn't mean he's still not going to probably play the same amount of minutes, but just to break up some things. So that'd be my personal opinion on it. But again, that's not going to happen. You're not going to bench a player like DeMar DeRozan and what he's meant for this team, especially with what Zach's been doing. It is what it is, man. Zach didn't get over being benched in the fourth quarter last year, so now he only plays in the fourth quarter. That's funny. That's funny. If it were last year, would you have traded Zach for Jordan Poole? No, go back and look at my live streams back then. I've never been a Jordan Poole guy. Never. I always thought Jordan Poole benefited from, of course, that team and the gravity that those players have, but I've never been a Jordan Poole guy. Never. Quinn says we really need a culture like the Heat. Well, the thing is, you don't just get that. That culture is built over time, right? And they built that coach. That was not the Heat culture right now is not the culture of that team when Pat Riley initially took that team over. They had to build that over years, over a decade, right? They had to build it to where it got to. But I think that's what you want. Ideally, when you go out and get a coach, you're trying to bring in a coach that's going to help set a culture for your team that you can build off on for years. That's why I always say when people are like, "Well, let's go get Mark Jackson." I'm like, I don't want the Bulls to get another big name. I don't want them. They went after a big name coach when they got Billy Donovan. I want them to do their research. I want them to bring in somebody who could be the next great head coach in the NBA. That's what I would love them to do. We could have had that with Tibbs, but I mean, Tibbs is going to be somebody who always burns out on teams. But that's what I would want the direction I would want to see the Bulls go. What do you think is the biggest immediate upgrade we would be? Trade Zach, fire Billy, trade DeMar, or Vooch, fire Billy Donovan, or depending on who you bring back in for him. But I think you have a different coach with a kind of better at adjustments and a better vision for how they could use these players offensively. I think things change big for the Bulls. Hayes, can you do the next Locked On opening in Germany, a death and throw Pat off? You know what? I've never thought about that. I may very well do that. I may very well do that. But all right, guys, game back on. I'll be back post game. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See Red. All that good stuff. Be back here post game. Peace, y'all.